new shipping hub in the heart of Asia. Reaching the world from the heart of Taiwan. With a bloody, huge, massive, extremely big wheel. Port of Taichung.
Hey there guys, welcome to YGZ Taiwan. I'm in a place called Mitsui Outlet Park in the port of Taichung. And I want to talk about the Beijing Winter Olympics. So as I'm sure you guys already know, several different countries have actually diplomatically boycotted the Beijing Winter Olympics. And my country, the UK, is one of them. But what I want to know, and I'm sure a lot of people want to know, is Taiwan going to diplomatically boycott the Beijing Olympics? Now there is this huge, exhaustive, long list of why so many countries have come together to diplomatically boycott the Beijing Winter Olympics. For example, cultural genocide, human rights violations, the list goes on. But I'm going to give you one more reason why all the countries around the world should come together and diplomatically boycott the Beijing Winter Olympics. So this year I watched the Tokyo Olympics, right? And I was watching it and I saw a team come out called Chinese Taipei. And I was like, who the hell is Chinese Taipei? And then I looked into it and I realized that Taiwan aren't even allowed to call themselves by their country's name in the Olympics.
What the fuck?
The athletes are not allowed to represent their own country, and they have to go by this pretend name called Chinese Taipei. And that's just because the CCP has this massive influence within the Olympic Committee, and you know, all around the world. Of course, a lot of countries around the world don't recognize Taiwan as a country because the CCP says so.
What the fuck?
For some reason, I don't know why. I guess, you know, a lot of countries just want their cheap shit made. I don't know. But anyway, so they have to call themselves Chinese Taipei, which is just, I think that's reason enough to just not watch the Olympics at all, you know. I think that Taiwan should be allowed to represent themselves. You know, the athletes, they're all competing on the world stage. And if it is about athletes and not politics, which is what the CCP keeps saying, they keep saying it's all about the athletes, it shouldn't be about politics. Well, if that's the case, why don't you let Taiwan represent itself in the Olympics? And also, I also remember one other thing when I watched the Olympics, okay? So China lost to the USA this year in total medal accumulation, right? The USA got more medals at the end of the games. But in a desperate bid to be number one, the CCP, or China, whatever you want to call it, they tried to claim Taiwan's medals as their own because apparently Taiwan is a part of China. It really is just absolutely ridiculous how they did this, yeah? And I was just shocked, you know, because first of all, they don't let them have their own name, and then second, they're trying to steal their medals and claim them as their own. I thought it wasn't about politics, because that is what they keep on saying, right? They're saying, oh, why are all of these countries diplomatically boycotting us? It shouldn't be about politics, it should be about the athletes, yeah? Well, why did they pretend that they didn't really care? And they were saying, oh, you know, we didn't invite all of these countries. We didn't invite them anyway, so they can boycott it all they like. And now they're saying, oh, it shouldn't be about politics. So for the CCP, it is about politics. it definitely is about politics. It's not about the athletes for them. They couldn't care less about the athletes. All they care about is making their country look really good on the world stage, and they're just really embarrassed that so many countries have actually diplomatically boycotted them now. It's never about the athletes for them, you know? Whenever China wins a medal, it's never about the great achievement of that certain athlete. It's always about, oh wow, look at how great our China is. 我们的中国很厉害. You know, that's what they always say, right? It's never like, oh, what an amazing job the athlete did and how they're great. It's like, oh, look at how great communism is. This is how amazing China is and the CCP. We did all of this. We're going to take full merit for it. So it's always about politics for them. And that's why we shouldn't be watching the Winter Olympics. I'm not going to watch it. To be honest with you, I never watch it anyway. I don't think I've ever watched a Winter Olympics in my whole life. Couldn't care less about it. So this year, I have a particularly good reason to not give a crap about the Beijing Winter Olympics, and it's because of the CCP's involvement. So the Taiwanese government, they have acknowledged that other countries around the world diplomatically boycotting the Beijing Winter Olympics, but they haven't made a decision themselves whether to boycott or not. And the reason for that is because of their athletes. They're really thinking about their athletes. They don't want to mess anything up for them. You know, for example, if they do decide to boycott the games, then, you know, the CCP might turn around and say, well, hey, sorry, but you can't send your athletes here. Sorry, Chinese Taipei, you can't send your athletes. So that's the reason why the Taiwanese government hasn't made a decision yet, but they're still in the process of debating it and talking about it. And I honestly think they might as well just diplomatically boycott, because to be perfectly honest with you, they're not going to be invited to the Beijing Olympics anyway. I mean, can you imagine Mr. Winnie the Pooh, Xi Jinping, inviting Tsai Ing-wen to come and watch the games in Beijing? Hey, yo, what's up? What's up, Tsai Ing-wen? Come to Beijing, hang out with me. It's highly unlikely. It's not going to happen. So they might as well just diplomatically boycott it and see what happens. I think, you know, the athletes, as long as they still go by the name Chinese Taipei, then they should be allowed to attend the games. If the CCP really isn't trying to politicize these games and saying that it's a political thing, and if it is for the athletes, they should let any country's athletes go anyway, right? So guys, if you're going to support your country's athletes during the Beijing Winter Olympics, that's perfectly fine. But please, just remember, don't support the CCP, okay? So anyway guys, this is me, YGZ Taiwan. I'm at the port of Taichung. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Check out my Instagram, check out my Twitter, and check out my Patreon. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.
Port of Taichung.